We'll begin our class this morning finding a comfortable position. You could choose to sit or lay down, whatever you prefer. Taking a moment to find a position that feels supportive and maybe a bit restful for you. Something that allows you to feel grounded and stable. And then we'll start to settle in, noticing each and every place where the body touches down and allowing yourself to get a bit heavier at each one of those points of contact. You can choose if you'd like to close your eyes and allow your jaw to soften, releasing muscles of the face and softening the shoulders down, allowing the upper body to start to relax and release a little bit. Allowing your hands and your feet to be in comfortable, natural positions. Maybe there's a little bit of a curl in the fingers. Toes are relaxed. And we'll scan through the body, starting at the top, working our way down. Taking a moment just to notice how you feel this morning. Looking for any areas where you're feeling tightness or tension. Noticing any areas where you feel a sense of ease, a sense of comfort. And then if you're able, going back to one or two of those areas where you feel tightness or tension, imagine them consciously releasing, relaxing, softening a bit. Use a visualization to allow yourself to settle in a bit more deeply, letting go of some of that tension. Maybe feeling it melt into the ground through one of those points of contact. And from here, without trying to change anything, we'll start to bring a little bit of awareness to our breathing. Noticing the feeling of inhale and exhale. Noticing perhaps what parts of the body move as you breathe in and out. And if you do notice that your breathing is a bit shallow or short, maybe draw your next inhale a little bit more deeply into the body, allowing the air to travel down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs, and then filling up the belly. And as you exhale, releasing in the opposite direction, letting the belly soften, letting the lungs empty, ribs knit back together. The air travels back up and out. Finding a slow, comfortable rhythm for the breath. And once you've found that rhythm that works for you, let's start to invite some small movement back into the body. Maybe gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, starting to circle wrists and ankles, and turning the head from side to side. And then when you're ready, coming back to stillness. If you are laying down, taking a moment to draw your knees in towards your chest and roll over onto one side of the body or the other. Pausing to allow yourself to adjust, feeling the ground beneath one side of your body. And then when you're ready, make your way all the way back up to a seated position, choosing whatever seated position you prefer. We'll ground down through both sides of the body and sit up a little bit more tall. Let's drop the chin down towards the chest and slowly roll the chin over towards one shoulder. We'll go back down through center and over to the other side. Continuing at your own pace. Slowly, gently rocking the head from side to side. Warming up through the neck. We'll bring the head back to stillness at center. We'll start to roll through the shoulders, lifting shoulders up to the ears and then squeezing them together and drawing them down the back. As we inhale, lifting the shoulders up, and as we exhale, squeezing and drawing them together. And let's take it the other direction, still lifting the shoulders up, but then rolling the shoulders forward and spreading them nice and wide. Lifting up on the inhale and then rolling forward on the exhale. Bringing the shoulders back to stillness. Let's bring the left arm across the front of the body and we'll loop the right elbow around the left elbow. If it's uncomfortable to use your right elbow, you can also use your right hand instead. Draw that left arm in towards the body. And then if you already feel a stretch in your left shoulder, maybe this is where you stay. If you feel like you're not feeling that sensation yet, you can bring your arms back towards the middle of your body and find eagle arms, bringing the backs of the arms together. Maybe the backs of the hands touch, or maybe you wrap around your hands so that your palms touch. If you are in the eagle arm bind, let your shoulders soften down and start to lift your elbows out in front of you again, just until you find that start of a stretch. And maybe move your hands a little bit further away from your body if you're not feeling it just yet. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths in, letting them out just as slowly. And then we'll release. And we'll switch sides, taking the right arm across the front of the body. We'll loop the left elbow around the right elbow. Again, if the left elbow is not comfortable for any reason, you can use your left hand instead. We'll soften those shoulders down. And then check in, choosing either to stay where you are or to bring your arms into that eagle arm bind, bringing the backs of the arms to touch, maybe the backs of the hands line up, or maybe you can wrap your hands around one another so that the palms come together. If you are in the bind, letting your shoulders soften down, lifting your elbows slightly, just until you start to feel that stretch in between your shoulders. And then maybe moving your hands a little bit further away from your body. Taking 1 or 2 slow, deep breaths. And then we'll release, letting the arms drop, and then rolling through the shoulders a couple more times just to release. From here, let's move the legs out in front of us, straightening out through the legs. If you're sitting on any kind of prop, maybe moving off to the side. And you can bring your hands back behind you for support. We'll start by pointing our toes forward, stretching across the top of the foot, top of the ankle, front of the shin. And then we'll flex at the ankles, drawing the toes back towards the body, feeling a stretch along the backs of the legs. We'll alternate between those two, pointing the toes forward and then flexing at the ankle, drawing the toes back. Taking your time and really noticing the sensation, noticing how it changes as you shift from one position to another. And then we'll start to take the feet in circles, rotating at the ankle. Again, noticing how that feels, noticing where you feel the sensation. And we'll change directions, go the other way. And let's bring those feet back to stillness. We'll flex at the right ankle, and then we'll bend the left knee so the sole of the left foot comes just inside of the right thigh. Taking those hands that are behind you and tenting the fingers to help yourself sit up a little bit more tall, stacking shoulders over hips, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then checking in, maybe you already feel a stretch along the back of the right leg. If that's the case, you can stay where you are. If you're not feeling it just yet and you'd like to hinge at the hips leaning forwards, you can either press into your hands and walk your hands forward, or you can bring those hands out in front of you, placing them one on either side of your right leg or somewhere on your right leg. It's up to you. If you can, soften your left hip. Let that left leg hang heavy. We'll breathe into the back of the right leg, creating a little bit of space as we inhale, visualizing expansion. And then as we exhale, visualizing softness, a release of some of that tension. If as you breathe, you start to notice the tension is worse instead of better, try taking a more gentle variation. It is early in the morning. If you've just gotten up right before this class, you might be a little bit more tight than you would be later in the day. So being gentle with yourself. And let's release that side. We'll walk the hands back towards the body if they're out in front. Release the pressure from the back if the hands are back behind you. And we'll switch sides, taking the left leg out in front of us and folding the right leg in. Again, on this side, we'll start by flexing at the left ankle so the toes draw back towards us. And start by tenting the fingers and lifting up long and tall, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then releasing through the right hip, letting that right knee fall. You can stay where you are if you're feeling that stretch along the back of your left leg. Or if you're not feeling it just yet, maybe hinging forward at the hips, either pressing the hands behind you or walking the hands out in front, placing them either on the floor or somewhere on your left leg. Breathe in and lift up tall. Breathe out, press the chest forward. Good, let's release. You can put your legs in whatever shape you like. We'll take a moment just to roll through the wrists. Going first in one direction and then the other. Maybe bending and straightening out your fingers. And we'll make our way up into a tabletop position. Coming up onto our hands and our knees. Stacking shoulders over hands, hips over knees. Toes can be flat or they can be tucked under, it's up to you. I'll start here with a few rounds of cat and cow, just to warm up the spine a little bit more as we inhale, dropping the belly, drawing shoulders back and looking forward. As we exhale, rounding the spine, spreading the shoulders, looking back to the knees. And inhale, lengthening the front of the body. And exhale, lengthening the back of the body. Really taking your time and making the movements bigger or smaller as you need. Allowing your movement and your breath to find a rhythm together. And let's bring it back to stillness. From here, we'll press down into the fingertips, gripping down onto the floor, and then we'll step back with the feet, lifting up and back into downward facing dog, drawing the hips towards the ceiling and the wall behind you. Keeping a little bit of a bend in your knees if you need to, so that your spine is long and in a neutral position. Keep pressing the floor away equally with both hands. If you want to, you can bend through knees, bend through ankles, bringing some movement into the legs. And then we'll start to walk those feet up towards the top of the mat, nice and slow, making our way up into a forward fold. So the feet land about hip distance apart. There's still pretty deep bend in the knees, so that the belly can rest on the thighs, the head hangs down heavy. You can nod your head yes or shake your head no to release any tension that's there. You can leave your arms resting where they are, or you could take hold of your opposite elbows or wrap your arms around your legs if that's comfortable for you. As you rest and breathe here, noticing the transfer of your weight between your feet. Noticing where your gaze goes. Let's release our hands back down. As we inhale, we'll straighten out the legs, straighten out the spine, bring the hands to rest somewhere on the legs, coming into half back, Ardha Uttanasana. And we'll exhale, bending the knees and folding once again. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees even deeper, sweep the hands out to the sides, coming all the way up to standing. Drawing the palms together and then down towards heart center as we exhale. Let's inhale, reaching up. We'll exhale, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhaling to fold, we'll plant the hands, stepping back into downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale, walking or stepping to the top of the mat, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rise up. Reach up overhead, and then exhale, hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, planting the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way. Allowing the palms to meet up overhead and then exhaling down to heart center. Okay, let's change it up a little. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending and folding. Inhaling for half back. We'll exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back behind us. Toes tuck under, heel presses back. Left knee stacks over left ankle. Hands up overhead. Reaching up and then exhaling, planting the hands down, stepping back, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees and look forward as we inhale. And then exhale, step the right foot up in between the hands. Again, stacking right knee over right ankle, pressing back through left heel. On the next inhale, we'll rise up, lifting those arms up overhead. Exhaling, we'll plant the hands down, step the left foot forward, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, folding forward. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, other side, we'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping the left foot back behind us. As we inhale, let's lift, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhaling, we'll plant the hands down, step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping the left foot up in between the hands. We'll inhale, rising up. Exhale, release the hands down, step the right foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Good, again, we'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, stepping right foot back behind us. We'll inhale, rising up, reaching those hands up overhead. Exhaling, hands back down to the floor. We'll step the left foot back to meet the right. Here, as we inhale, we'll lift the right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that right foot up in between the hands. We'll inhale, rising up. Exhale, drop the hands, step forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, rising all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, we'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, stepping the left foot back behind us. We'll inhale, rising up, high lunge. Let's exhale, drop the hands, step the right foot back. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the hands, step the right foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms meet up overhead and we'll draw them down to heart center. Let's release the arms at the sides. We'll take a moment to find our mountain pose. Allowing it to be an active mountain pose, really pressing down through the ball of the foot and the heel. Let's loop the shoulders up, back and down to open up through the chest. Let's extend the fingers out wide or draw them together with energy. Palms can face towards the body or out in front of you. And as we inhale, we'll lift up a little bit taller, reach up through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we'll press down through the ball of the foot and the heel. Feeling the muscles of the legs get a little bit more active, maybe feeling your kneecaps lift, maybe feeling your glutes turning on. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, root down. Taking a moment to focus your gaze on something out in front of you, something that's not moving. Let's bring our hands onto our hips. We'll turn the right knee open to the side so the right heel comes just inside the left ankle. Taking a moment to check in here, noticing how your balance is to start off with. Allowing your breath to slow, your gaze to steady. Maybe you stay here, maybe you slide the sole of that right foot up higher on your left leg, either inside of the calf or inside of the thigh. Draw the right knee open. You can leave your hands at your hips, you can bring them together at heart center or extend them up overhead. Breathing in and breathing out. Release, placing that right foot back down to the ground. Hands come onto hips, we'll transfer the weight right over to the right foot. Turn the left knee open. Focus your gaze once again. Feel your breath, either staying here or sliding the sole of the right foot up the inside of your calf or inside of your thigh. Hands can remain on hips. You can bring them together in front of your heart or you can extend them up overhead like branches of a tree. Gazing at your focal point, your drishti. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, rooting down. And let's release back down to the ground, finding our mountain pose. We'll inhale, reaching up. Let's exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, step back, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. As we inhale, we'll come to half back. Exhale to fold. And here we'll drop the hips even lower and we'll inhale up into chair pose, lifting those arms up overhead, keeping the knees back behind the toes, sinking the hips down as low as you comfortably can and really reaching up through the fingertips. As we exhale, we'll fold forward once again. We'll inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, the hands down to heart center. So inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for chair pose. Drop the hips, lift the hands. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, looking forward as we inhale. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale for chair pose, drop the hips, lift the hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, rising. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, half back. Exhaling, folding. Let's inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale for chair pose. We'll pause here. Looking down past your knees to see your toes. Dropping your hips down. Reaching your hands up. You can either leave your arms extended up overhead, or you can bring them together in front of your heart. And you can choose to stay with your whole foot planted on the floor. Or if you'd like to test your balance a little bit more, you can rock forward onto the balls of your foot, allowing your heels to lift. So if you do that, your knees are going to come forward a little bit. That's okay. But try to keep your hips low, sitting down in your chair. Focusing your drishti, focusing your gaze. Breathing in and breathing out for a toe stand. Keep that breath flowing. And then we'll drop the heels down, rise up, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Okay, let's inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding. Let's inhale for chair pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chair pose, drop the hips, lift the hands. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Good, again, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale for chair pose, drop the hips, lift the hands. So again, you can choose to stay here, or if you'd like, take your arms into an eagle bind with the right arm on the bottom. Stay here, or coming in full eagle by stacking the right leg over the left. Allowing your gaze to focus, allowing your hips to sink down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we'll release, stepping that right foot down, rising all the way up. And exhaling, folding forward, planting the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale for chair pose, drop the hips, lift the hands. Choosing to stay here, or taking eagle arms with the left arm on the bottom. Maybe leaving your arms in a bind, your legs as they are, or maybe stacking the left leg over the right. Again, focusing on your drishti, your gazing point, letting your gaze soften, and letting your breath flow. Inhaling and exhaling, full, complete breaths. And then with the next inhale, we'll release, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. And then release to mountain pose. Taking a pause. Noticing the feeling of your breath, the beating of your heart. Actively rooting down through both feet. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Finding some energy through the hands. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, grounding down. Taking a moment to scan through the body, top to bottom, noticing anywhere that you're holding on to intensely. I noticed that my jaw was clenching, and allow those areas to soften. Focusing here on the muscles of the legs and the arms being active, everything else being pretty relaxed. Softening the jaw, softening the neck, allowing the belly to move in and out with the breath. When you're ready, we'll inhale, lifting both hands up overhead. We'll exhale, bending the knees and folding. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. We'll step the right foot back behind us. This time we'll plant the heel down, point the right toes towards the top right corner of the mat, and stack the left knee over the left ankle, setting up for warrior one. So you want a comfortable distance between your feet, maybe a little bit of a stretch along the back of the right leg, but nothing too intense. And from here, we'll rise up, lifting those arms up overhead, squaring hips and shoulders towards the top of the mat. Inhaling to lift up, exhaling to root down. As we exhale, we'll bring the hands down to the mat. Turn those right toes forward, step them a little bit further back, and we'll move back to downward facing dog. As we inhale here, let's lift that right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step the right foot midway of the mat. Plant the left heel down, turn those left toes towards the top left corner of the mat. Right knee stacks over right ankle. Again, a comfortable distance between the feet. We'll inhale, rising up to warrior one. As we exhale, let's plant the hands. Step the left foot forward, right foot forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, drawing hands down to heart center, gathering that energy from the room in. Let's inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting hands, stepping left foot back again, not all the way back. Planting the heel, toes point forwards. We'll inhale, rising up, warrior one. Exhale, drop the hands. Turn those left toes forward, step right feet back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left foot up. Exhale, step it mid-mat. Turn the right toes out, plant the right foot. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, drawing hands down to heart center. Okay, we'll do that again. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, half back. Exhaling, planting hands, stepping left foot back, warrior one legs. We'll inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the hands, step back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift the right foot up. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Plant the left heel, rise up. Exhale, drop the hands, step forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. We'll inhale, lifting all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Good again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back, warrior one legs. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, drop the hands, step back, downward dog. Inhale, lift that left foot up behind us. Exhale, step it forward, plant the right foot. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, draw the hands down to heart center. Change it up a little bit. Let's inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step the right foot back, warrior one. We'll inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the hands, step back, downward dog. Let's inhale, lift the right foot up behind us. Exhale, step that right foot forward, warrior one, drop the left heel. We'll inhale, rising all the way up. This time we'll draw the hands down to heart center as we exhale. Focus your gaze on something in front of you that's not moving. It's known as drishti. Find your slow, steady breath, and then start to transfer weight over into the right foot as you get lighter on the left foot, letting that left heel lift until just the toes are touching down on the floor. From here, we'll start to straighten out the right leg. Lift those left toes off the ground. Allow your gaze to drift downwards. We'll come into warrior three. Pressing back through the left heel, hips are level. Gaze is straight down at the floor. We'll inhale, press the heel away from crown of the head. Exhale, press into the right foot. Draw the lower belly in. Soften the shoulders. Find a slow, steady breath. And then we'll drop the left foot down. Come into our forward fold, releasing everything. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. We'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's do the other side, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. Warrior one legs. We'll inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward dog. We'll inhale, lift the left foot up behind us. And exhale, that left foot forward. Warrior one legs. Right foot drops down. We'll inhale, rising all the way up. Let's exhale, drawing hands down into heart center. Find that focal point in front of you. Start to shift your weight into your left leg. Get a little bit lighter on your right foot. Maybe just the right toes touch down. You can stop at any point if it's not comfortable for you to move further. If you're proceeding, lifting that right foot up off the floor, flexing at the ankle, straightening out the left leg as you hinge forward. Back leg and upper body are parallel with the floor. Gaze is directly downwards, and we're pressing back through the right heel, lengthening forward through crown of the head. Breathing in to lengthen, and breathing out to press into the left leg, grounding down. Good. With an exhale, releasing that right foot down, forward fold. Back. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, letting the palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, drawing hands down to heart center. Okay, let's inhale, lifting. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's pause for a moment here. Pressing down into the tips of the fingers. Lengthening the legs, lengthening the tailbone up and back. Choosing if you'd like to pedal out through your feet. And then from here, we'll drop the knees down onto the ground about mat distance apart. Let the big toes come together, and we'll sit the hips back onto the heels, extending the arms out in front of the body. Anchoring down through the hips and reaching forward with the fingertips. We'll breathe in to lengthen. As we breathe out, let's start to walk those hands over towards the left side of the mat, lengthening the right side of the body. Staying really heavy through the right hip. And breathing into the right side. Again, checking in, allowing your jaw and your neck to soften, releasing tension throughout the body. Let's walk those hands all the way back through center and over to the other side. We'll anchor down through the left hip, really reach the left arm forward. Breathing into the left side of the body, feeling the breath slow. Feeling the ribs expand and soften. And then we'll release, walking the hands back towards the body. We'll take a more passive child's pose. Allowing those arms to bend, allowing the forehead to rest on the mat. You can even bend your elbows all the way, bringing your arms to stack in front of you, placing your forehead on the backs of your hands. Or you can walk your hands around towards your feet, coming into a curling leaf shape. Taking just a few more slow, deep breaths into the back of the body, feeling that back rib cage expand as you inhale. And allowing yourself to soften, hips get a little heavier as you exhale. From here, let's slowly start to come upright, walking the hands towards the body. Draw the knees together and shift the hips off to one side. And extend both feet out in front of us. From here, let's bend the left knee and place the left foot just outside of the right knee. We'll wrap the right arm around the left leg and plant the left hand behind us. Inhale to lift up a little bit more tall and exhale, twist, opening towards the left side. Breathing in to lift up and breathing out to soften. Let's inhale to release, coming all the way back to center. We'll tuck that left heel just outside of the right ankle and let the left knee come down over the right knee. You can leave your right leg extended, or you can tuck your right foot left. We'll pause for a moment, sitting up tall here. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing any sensation through your hip or hips. And you can stay as you are, or you can plant your right hand down and extend your left arm up and across towards the left side of the room. Good, let's release, we'll come back to center. We'll undo those legs. Keeping the left leg extended, we'll step the right foot just outside of the left leg. We'll wrap the left arm around the right knee and plant the right hand behind us. Pressing into the right hand, sitting up tall, breathing in. And then as we breathe out, start to draw that right shoulder back, looking over the right shoulder towards the wall behind you. Breathing in to lift up and breathing out to soften. Good, let's release, we'll come all the way back. Let's draw the right foot just outside of the left hip, stacking the left knee over the right, right knee over the left. You can leave your left leg extended, or you can bend the left knee, bringing the left heel just outside of the right hip. Anchoring down through both sitting bones, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in again, noticing any sensation in your hip or hips. And you can either stay here, or you can drop your left hand down onto the floor and extend your right arm up and over, lengthening the right side of the body. And then we'll release, coming back to center. Let's untie those legs. Extend them out in front of us. Bend through knees, bend through ankles. And then we'll find a final resting pose. So it's up to you if you'd like to stay in a seated position for a seated meditation, or you can lay down if you prefer it, using any kind of props you want. We'll find a position that feels comfortable and supported. And start to settle down into it. Taking a moment to scan through the body, looking for those points of connection. Anywhere that the body touches down on the ground. Allowing it to soften down, soften down into those supports. Allow your breathing to slow and soften. Maybe closing your eyes and releasing the muscles of your face, softening your jaw. Allowing the upper and lower teeth to separate from one another. And giving yourself permission to release. Releasing effort from the body. And allowing yourself the time to rest. If you notice that your mind starts to wander to what's coming next or what happened yesterday, see if you can use those cues, those signs from the body to keep yourself anchored here. Allowing yourself to feel into your mat, allowing yourself to feel your breathing, and really giving yourself the time to just be here and now. Focused on the present moment. When you're ready, we'll start to invite a little bit of movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles. Turning the head from side to side. And bring everything back to center. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees in towards your chest and roll over onto whichever side of the body you prefer. Allowing yourself a pause there. Chance to settle into your new shape. And then when you're ready, finding a comfortable seated position. If you have been seated and you prefer to change your shape, you can do that as well. Even if it's as simple as crossing your legs in the other direction. Allowing ourselves to anchor down through both hips so that we can sit up tall. Bring our hands together in front of our heart. sealing the outer edges of the palms and the tips of the fingers. And from the light that shines within me to the light that shines within you. Namaste.